All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the inaugural episode, Chelas con Chavos. This is John, and I'm here with Miguel. How you doing, Chavo Miguel?
Hey, how's it going, Johnny? How's you doing?
Good, bro. Good, bro. So, everybody, this is the official Chelas con Chavos podcast, the your number one source for Chavos information and content.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's get it started, man. How you doing, bro? So I want to tell everybody, grab your Chela, just relax, just listen to us, and we're gonna be here talking about some supporter stuff. You know, how the game went,
Yep.
loyal with Galaxy Dos, Los Dos, and then just some more information from there. So let's get it kicking, man.
Yeah. It was
Um,
definitely it was a very busy week, especially for the SG as a whole. And I think week one started off really well for us. So
yeah, we'll get into all that juicy stuff in a little bit, but one
yeah.
thing I wanted to talk to you about was
Mhm.
obviously you're a Chavo, I'm a
Yeah.
Chavo, and the big thing this year was that Chavos got recognized as a SG, by ST Loyal.
Yep.
So obviously it's a big, big thing, big responsibility. It's going to bring more eyes to the supporters group.
Mhm.
And first of all, what do you think on that? Because what's really going on right now is obviously the numbers are growing for Chavos. People are more interested in Chavos. The name's getting out there. More people want to join Chavos. So, what's your thoughts on that and just being recognized, and then just the responsibility that's going to be coming with it, and just a lot of
Yeah.
eyes, looking at us, and a lot of people trying to join.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you could agree with the last few weeks have been really crazy. I mean, our our Discord channel is just pop, like with a bunch of new people. Our membership numbers are just like, they're they're at an all time high for us right now, and which has been pretty good. And
Yeah.
being, I guess, I mean, I'm sure you could agree too. Like being recognized, as an official supporter group, kind of brings an extra amount added pressure, to us from the previous year where we're just kind of trying to do our thing, just trying to be the best, supporters we could be, and and yeah, I think it's not just a win for San Diego, but it's a win for us as a group. It's a win for for the locals as well. They have somebody to be able to share that passion with. It's a win for a lot of people. Like in the inner cities that never really heard of Loyal, and we're kind of bringing that extra vibe that wasn't there before. And I don't know, man. Like, how do you feel about it? Like, I mean, this is the first year too, being an official supporter group as well. So, I mean, what do you think?
Oh man, I'm just proud of everybody. This is what's been going on right now with Chavos is exactly what I was looking for, and what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Just the bond that everyone's just been having. Everyone in Chavos has been growing and growing, and we'll talk about it a little bit later when we talk about what happened during the match
Hmm.
against Los Dos. But everyone's getting really tight knit. Everyone feels like family, and we're all doing this for the soccer community. And again, I mentioned it before, just in my podcast, but it's doesn't matter what walk of life you're coming from, but
Yeah.
once you're a Chavo, we're family. You could be any color, any gender, anything. Like you be a
Hmm.
just we will receive you as long as you're cool, cool person, supporting loyal, and supporting what Chavos is about. You're a part of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, and so it's like, no, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, just the new faces that were, they're coming around, it just kind of feels like they've been excited to kind of be a part of this, it just kind of felt like family.
Yeah. And obviously, with this comes big responsibility, and I think it's something that we're ready to tackle, because before we got recognized, we were already doing big things in the community.
Yeah.
Like Adrian, doing things for the community, and like backpack drives or food
Yeah.
drives, for like Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And we are doing what we can for the community, and we're representing ST Loyal San Diego, and we're doing this, just for the love of just the community, and bringing the Chavos name and ST Loyal and the soccer culture to all the different barrios around San Diego. And yeah, it's been growing. Like them, to be honest, I'm super just stoked. Just what's
Yeah.
been going on, the past couple of years, with the supporters group, here in with ST Loyal, in regards to what Chavos has been doing, and locals too. I think the supporters culture in San Diego is growing, and we'll get into that in a little bit when we talk about the match again. But
Yeah.
you can just feel that it's just growing, like how we just said that the Chavos membership is just growing, and it's just a beautiful thing to see from all the work that we were doing, the past
Yep.
year and a half or so. How we were just, maybe about like 10, 11, 10 to 15 people, and then from like the padrinos to, growing to about 10 people to about like 15. And then now we're, it's like over 100. I don't know how much it is right now yet, but
Yeah.
but it's like 100 something. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, it's
uh,
up there.
it's growing. So
Yeah.
yeah, but again, with the being recognized, it's bringing a lot of eyes on us, and we are ready to take that responsibility. A lot of us have a lot of passion in
Mhm.
regards to expressing that passion in
Yeah.
109, with tifos, with messages, about people in the community, in the minority community, or any community that we feel like we want to show some show some support and the acknowledgement. And the eyes are on us, when the ESPN Plus is showing the matches. They're going over to 109 on camera and look at the tifos and the messages that we have, and we want
Yeah.
to show that positive, the positive vibe and culture and support, to certain people in the community that are doing a good job.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? And the banner stands out. I mean, the banner that was created for the section, it stands out. And I mean, for the new people that that be coming in, if you're not really sure who the Chavos de Loyal are, we hope in the future to be able to have some of our members, come in. They're going to interview with us. We're going to try to start off with our president, or if not, maybe one of the padrinos. The padrinos, we refer to them as, they're the originals, the original four people that started this, that were there from the beginning. They had a dream, and that dream, came to fruition this year. um so I mean, we're going to be talking about that more, as these podcasts go along. And we're going to be having some people, join us from the group, to kind of tell us their story about, what it is for them to be, what it means to them to be chavos and stuff, and be part of the community. um, and like I said, for all those new people that don't know who we are an official supporters group for the San Diego Loyal. And yeah, we I mean, we're gonna make, well, we're loud. We sing 90 plus all the time. I mean, we're pocos pero locos. I mean, when you hear us, we come down the stadium, you hear us, and we just do not stop singing, even after the game. I mean, I don't know. Remember when you were I mean, just during the game, I mean, just singing up there in the top of the stands, man. I was pretty exhausted the next day.
hell yeah, man. I put it all out there, and it's fun, um, that is being recognized. When people
Yeah,
come to Torero, other teams, and they're coming and saying like, "Damn, Section 109 be bringing it." And not only that, let's get into it now, because let's get into just what's been going on.
hmm
But just like the vibe and the hype. The hypheness has been going on with ST Low this year, but so I want
yeah,
to talk more about that. But first of all, I want to start off with the pregame at Deft Brewing,
yep.
before the Loyal and Los Dos match. I was not there. I know you were, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Deft Brewing is the official home for Chavos de Loyal for the preseason games during the 2022 home season.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, how was it? Was it a good atmosphere? Do the is I wasn't there again, but for watch parties, is that a
Yeah,
spot that's going to be possibly a place to be going for watch parties, or are
yeah,
we planning on having events over like a Novo Brewery over in East Lake?
yeah. I mean, so I know Jeanette. She's been doing some great work, trying to build those connections with those other breweries, and we're gonna have watch parties, away watch parties at Nova Brazil, which is down in South Bay. We've added some other like locations over in like East County, and Def Brewing is definitely one of them. It's a nice space. It's got a big open patio. The owner has been very, very, very kind to us and very generous. I mean, they're bringing food trucks for us. And the vibe this
Yeah.
weekend, I mean, I know you weren't there, but it was definitely different than the preseason. I mean, the preseason we just kind of showed up, we were all kind of
Yeah.
excited to see each other, and it started off, being like very much of the same as it was last year. Um, but this season, I mean, the start of the 2022 season, it just we started seeing so many new people, so many new faces, and it was a different, just to be able to see all that stuff, come along, and it just like all that hard work and effort just come together. People were coming in and they felt like family. They felt like, they've been
Yeah.
here for a very, very long time. And I know that's something that, Kevin, and Abel, Sam, and everybody else, they wanted that from the beginning. And it's amazing to see.
Was there a good turnout at Deft?
Yeah,
A lot
no,
of new,
definitely. There was
new
a
faces.
Oh man, it was definitely louder than previous times that we were around. Um, I think for sure, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get bigger. I know it was actually kind of pretty cool because for those of you that don't know, the Chavos de Loyal actually started a San Diego Soccer's sub supporter group called the Brujos de 78.
Right.
And we were showing the San Diego Soccer's game indoors as well. And I know a couple of our members are actually very into the San Diego Soccer. So we had the game streaming on YouTube. There was probably, I would say, if I had to count, man, about maybe like good 40 people there, for the pregame for
Oh,
Chavos. That was
that's
pretty
pretty good.
nice. Yeah. I mean, we discounted beer. You can't beat it.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
much is a beer? Just so people are listening that haven't been there that want to go.
Yeah.
Because we know at this match the locals had a bums parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And from my understanding is they're not going to have that every game. So
Correct.
they might have some something pregame somewhere else too, or they're more than welcome to come to Death too.
Yeah, and I know
But
last year
so
they started doing a little bit in Coronado. I don't know if they're gonna be doing the same thing or not, but,
yeah,
I mean, when they're not doing the Bums parking lot, I mean, that's the Bums parking lot is pretty fun.
yeah,
For anybody who hasn't been, go check it out for sure. I
yeah.
know for Deft Brewing, we've been getting, like, 15% off, I believe, for beer, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I don't know, it's between 10 and 15%, but it's definitely, it's affordable, and the this time around we had a food truck. It was like samosas and it was really, really good food. And
Oh,
I know
nice.
they're gonna be switching it out every week. So it's
Yeah.
always gonna be something different.
Is parking is I know it's tough in that area, but is parking good in that area? Is it easy to get parking?
If you're there early, it is pretty easy to get parking. If not, you're gonna have to park probably around the corner and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yes, I'm looking forward to going and checking out some of the food trucks, man.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I,
definitely.
I, I love me some food trucks.
Yeah. I know, man.
But cool. So after obviously that was a pregame, so
Mhm.
everyone went to the stadium, and I went to the match, obviously. But man, I just want to talk about the game ambience.
Yep.
When I got there, to me it was sold out. During the match, I looked around, and majority of the seats were full. I want to say
Yeah.
it was a sellout for the most part.
It
But
did look
man,
like it, right?
what's that?
It did look like it, right?
It did. But there was just like a buzz. There was like a buzz that was like you know how you talk about uh, how we say that sometimes you just feel like it's gonna be a special night.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just feel like, man, like this just like something's in the air, right? I felt it like one time before last year.
Yep.
That yeah, this tonight just feels like a great night. But this
Yeah.
particular night, people were just excited. There's so many people. There's tons of people wearing loyal gear, and kids, and moms and dads, and during the match, the all the stands were full. And what I wanted to talk about was that during the game when it was going on, like how I was bringing about how I just mentioned about the buzz, that every section was passionate, like from like every section, not just 109,
Yeah.
not just the sections around 109, but during the match you can tell that every section was, there was people standing up, there was people shouting, there was people yelling at the
Yeah.
referee, because referee was making some pretty bad calls.
I don't know, did you
And
see
it
that
wasn't,
water bottle that was thrown?
yeah.
I was like, "What?" That wasn't us, okay? For the record, that
Yeah.
was not us in 109. Nobody, I don't know who threw that bottle. It was Pretty
Yeah.
good aim though. They got good arm, but yeah, that
Yeah,
was not
hey,
a.
we don't condone that behavior at
We do
all,
not.
but
They do not.
that just shows you, in the I don't know, I'm not sure if that's a good way to look at it, the positive side of that, because look, the
Yeah,
good thing no one got hit, but the
exactly,
positive
exactly.
side to it is that just shows you how passionate people were in this match, because people were really
Yeah,
upset about the refereeing calls and people were really into the team. Obviously, again, we don't condone that stuff. It's inappropriate. Don't do it.
yep,
Even if it's an empty can or whatever, empty bottle, don't do it. It's not right. That's not who we are,
yeah,
as San Diego supporters. But
exactly.
that just kind of just shows you, just like people were just so like pumped about it, and then I just knew we weren't gonna lose. I just knew it. Just even when it was 0-0, I just said, we're like, it doesn't seem like to me San Diego's gonna lose this match.
They
Um,
definitely played. I mean, I know we're not talking game time right now, but I mean, they I felt like they definitely played to win. Um, and speaking about the atmosphere, I mean, you and I mean, since we're in the middle of it most of the time, we really can't hear anything outside of our section, right?
exactly.
So, we got people, like I know Espen was kind of out there walking around. For those of you who don't know, Espen is the president of Rainbow Loyal, another great organization, SG. Hopefully, we can get him recognized pretty soon. He was telling us that, they everybody was just kind of out buzzing, everybody was singing along, everybody was chanting. And
Yeah,
one of our other padrinos that, people may not be aware of, Mark, he lives out in Atlanta, Mark Estrada, he was
yeah,
actually it's good because he can see it from a TV standpoint. And, he's always telling us we sound loud, we sound great. And it's always good to see that, you know, that side of the atmosphere that we really can't tell because you and I, when we're in there, I mean, I'm sure everybody else too, we just hear us, we hear the drums. And I mean, sometimes I don't even know what the hell's going on the field because everything's so loud,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, the ambiance was something out of this world, and I put that, I commented on that on my Twitter, just
Yeah.
saying that that's like the best match I've been at, especially how it went. Lo- excuse me, Loyal scored, and then Los Dos scored, and
Hmm.
then obviously like everyone was bummed out. And all the action kind of started after like the 63rd minute. That's
After the red card, right?
yeah, it just started getting hot, like, after, like, the
Yeah.
63rd minute, it just escalated, like, just, like, everyone was into it, really just a lot more yelling and just passionate. The
Yeah.
chants were coming out, more stronger, and,
Yeah.
Loyal scored, Los Dos scored, and then, obviously, we gotta talk about, the last, the goal, that the winner, the game winner, 97th minute. Charlie Adams, sends a ball in, and it bounces off the crossbar off of like a defender and then goes back, and then it hits off a Los Dos defender and goes in,
Yeah. I think it hit
and
his face
boom.
or something.
Yeah, no, now it had like
Yeah.
its neck or chest or something, who knows
I don't
what,
know,
but
but it was. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even like the. It was so loud in there. I didn't even know Los Angeles scored a goal like until like
yeah,
after
yeah,
the game.
yeah,
So that was kind of like that was just a total shock to me because I thought we won 2-0 at first. But that just shows how much I was probably paying attention. But it was because it's just because we're just singing. We're like trying to get the rest of the crowd going. Um, but I mean, it was definitely. I I think we could have gotten more. That's kinda what I was trying to say earlier
yeah,
was we played so well. We should have won by more, and it kinda sucks that we won by an own goal. But, like I said, a win's a win. I'll take it.
yeah.
It's week 1,
Well, remember there was I didn't see because we were on the other end, but there was a goal that Loyal scored that was called back.
I don't
Um, I'm
man,
not
it
sure if
wasn't offsides, right?
I believe it was offside, so I don't
Yeah,
recall. I
it was
haven't watched the replay on that particular.
yeah, I think it was a through ball from Guido to Vassal, and
Yeah,
I think he was offsides. I think it
yeah.
yeah.
So the point being is that the ambiance was crazy after that goal. 97th minute, the match was pretty much done, but everyone was still giving it. Everybody was still giving it up. Every
Yeah,
section was just like, standing. People were standing up. People were chanting, and
yeah.
and and just a comment from what Landon said after the match. He said that it like the ambiance rivaled like matches that he's assisted or been at in Europe and even MLS. So he
That's
said,
crazy to me. That's crazy to me, especially because it's an open air, like, stadium like that. And,
yeah,
like, those stadiums in Europe, they have, like, a little bit of, like, cover, so it sounds like
yeah,
the sound's always amplified.
it's echoed, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
And
imagine when we get our own specific stadium, if they do have those covers, it's just gonna be like super loud, man.
yeah, and you know that Landon Donovan didn't say that just for no reason. And
Yeah.
again, that's what I'm trying to talk about. Is that the ambiance, the buzz that was going around the stadium
Mhm.
before the game and during the game, you just felt it like San Diego starting to really open their eyes to this club and the
Yep.
team, and it's funny today. I was, I live in East County, and I haven't seen a single person sporting anything loyal besides me, besides me
Yeah.
over here. Does not to say there's nobody out here that sports it, but I haven't seen anybody. And today when I was driving home, I saw a huge truck, and then it was actually from Arizona. It had Arizona plates on it, and it was heading east, going towards Arizona, and then it had a ST Loyal sticker on the back. And I was like, wow, and like I kind of wanted to
Oh
speed
man, I
up.
hope you didn't.
I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to speed up and tell the driver, hey, bro, like I was actually wearing my San Diego Loyal shirt today, and I wanted to speed up and be like, hey, bro, like hell yeah. But obviously he was ahead of me. I don't want to get in a car accident or nothing. So
Yeah, we do not condone driving unsafely to rep San Diego Loyal. Okay, so
yeah, but that's good to see that the
yeah,
city's actually starting to see, and then the billboards. We are making fun of our Chavos member Pyro, that
oh,
he's on the billboard.
dude's famous, man.
With Nick. They're right there. Having some promotional FaceTime
Yeah,
around the hoods in San Diego. But yeah, but the Loyal's getting popular. Gaining popularity. And people are starting to realize that going to these matches are freaking exciting. I mean, it's freaking exciting. The food's delicious. There's singing the whole time. By the supporters groups.
did you have you
It's
the burrito that they had at the stadium?
the what
It is the burritos. I think
from
that I don't know.
is it
I
from
don't.
Belinda's or Bella's?
I think so. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, that thing was delicious, man.
Oh hell yeah! Like it's
Yeah.
the food is delicious. It's a place for kids. It's a place
Hmm.
for your grandparents. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone's into it. But But again, I'm super stoked just because if the match against Los Dos is a little taste of what's it gonna be this season,
Yeah.
oh man, like I don't want to miss any game because every home game is gonna be just super exciting, and more people are just gonna get a buzz about it and hear about the matches, and
Yeah.
they're all gonna want to go. It's gonna get a sellout. It's gonna be a sellout like every home game. So
Honestly, the only thing I would change about last week is having the porta potties back in
yeah,
behind section 109. Because yeah, walking to the other side of the stadium, oh man, it's way too far, man. Especially when we've been like jumping up and down all day. I mean, just kind of
yeah.
you need to see that energy, right?
Oh, hell, and trust me, I already put that on the survey that got sent to
Yeah,
us. That was like my main thing, having the portal parties back there, because there's a lot of people on that end, in
yeah,
the 109 and the surrounding sections. There's a lot of people back there, and everyone has to walk all the way back around to like almost
yeah,
by the
dude.
front. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
think
lazy.
that's
I don't
that's
want to do
right.
that.
Yeah, we can't do that. There's a lot of people
Yeah,
drinking on that side.
I know, man. I'm 40 years old, man. I can't be walking back and forth like that. And then
Yeah,
especially too with
so
the parking, I'm parking all the way up on the east end, so it's like after
yeah,
the
the
game,
walk.
man, those stairs, man, those stairs are a mile
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, so hopefully Ricardo and Andrew is listening to this, and so they're seeing all the surveys that got sent out. So I'm pretty sure they're getting a little bit of a taste of what we want. What we want to see. I don't know why they changed that, but we'll see. But
Yeah, it must have been something. It must have been something, like that you could. It must have been something like they just couldn't probably fit the truck or something to get the stuff back there. But anyway, move on
yeah,
from that.
I hope they fix that. So anyway, so moving on from the game ambiance, there are some particular things, messages, Tifo uh, stuff that 109 did, the supporters groups, locals, Rainbow Loyals, and Chavos did. And I want to talk a little bit about it. As one of the things was having the Ukrainian, somebody
Yep.
was kind enough to make little. I don't know if they're maybe like 8x8 little cutouts of the Ukrainian flag, and
Yep.
and at some point, everybody in 109 pulled up the Ukrainian little flag display and express our just our worry what's going on over there, or I don't know what word you would call it, but just like our disapproval of what's going on over there,
Yeah.
and in everybody, Chelas con Chavos is one thing that we want to do. It's supporters talk,
Yeah.
and supporters around the world for clubs are express messages, their discontent to political things, to the ownership, to what's going on around them, to what's going on across the world. But this is the one thing I thought it was a nice touch
Yeah. Yeah.
that we did, because it seems like to me that the momentum's growing in the United States, that the disapproval of what's going on over there
Yeah.
and in Ukraine. And then just to tell you that I have someone I work with that she's actually Ukrainian, and I've talked to her about it, and then she's told me that she has family over there, she's from there.
Yeah.
She came over here quite a few years ago, but she's telling me what's going on, and her disapproval for Putin and what's been going on. And that kind of
Yeah.
and obviously you see what's going on in the news, and it's an ugly thing going on, but meeting somebody that's actually from there, and then them expressing to you that they're in fearful of their family getting killed,
Yeah.
for what reason. But what I want to get back to is like, that was a nice touch. I don't know who planned that or who set that up, but what did you
So
think about that?
yeah, I mean, that was actually beautiful. That was a beautiful thing that everybody did, and I think we're gonna give credit. I mean, well, actually, Nick from the locals actually had those flags in hand when we were doing the stadium setup. So this is all locals came up with that idea. It was
Nice.
beautiful. Was it 24th minute that we did that?
Yes.
Um, yeah, definitely. And it was a minute of silence. Um, it was definitely a great touch. And then the so yeah, I mean, I do have like some acquaintances, that came from that part of the world, from Ukraine. And I've actually visited Ukraine before, for work purposes. Beautiful country, amazing people, super nice, and it's just kind of, it's very devastating, everything that's kind of going on back there. On the other side of the world. But hopefully, I know I know just putting up little flags doesn't really do much, but at least it shows support. At least it shows that we're aware, and I think it was definitely a beautiful gesture.
Yeah. So, and again, if there's anybody out there that's very impacted by this, there's ways to support Ukrainian people, sending money.
Yeah.
I heard there's one way, and I don't want to get too much into this. You can look it up yourself, but just so you can hear. But I'm hearing of a way that there's Airbnbs in Ukraine that a lot of people are paying for, but obviously
Mhm.
they're not going. But
Yeah.
the owners of those houses and whatnot, their accounts are still up, so they're sending them money so they can get money in that way. There's also Ukrainians that will be coming to this country. There's already a few that came to San Isidro,
Yeah, I
Mexico.
read that.
There's already been a few. I actually hear there's even Russians that are actually crossing through there, because Russians don't
Oh,
actually need. It's one of those weird relationships with Mexico, and I don't want to get into that too much, but for some reason Mexico,
that's a different argument.
yeah, Mexico doesn't require Russians to have visas, which is an interesting thing. So I don't know how that came about, but there's actually a lot of Russians trying to cross through San Isidro to get over
Yeah.
here, and obviously Ukrainians. So if there's a way anybody wants to help, it might be something that we might want to do as
Yeah.
Chavos. So maybe that's something that we might want to do too. Do a charity drive for any Ukrainian families that are displaced, and here in California or even across the
Yep.
nation. That's something that we might be looking into also. So look into that. But another thing, we have some tifos that are up in section
Hmm.
109.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you want to talk about the one that about the La Mancha, que la pelota no se mancha. I'm not
Yes.
sure if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. So La Pelota No Se Mancha, that was actually an idea from our president, Kevin. And that was concerning more about the events that happened over in Querétaro with the fans from well, I'm not even gonna call them fans. I mean, there's just the
Killers,
killers, man,
barbarians, really.
barbarians. Exactly, that's a better word, barbarians. From both the Atlas Barras and the Querétaro Barras. I mean, it's just just complete tragedy the way everything went down, especially with a bunch of families and kids there, and then people that just kind of love the sport, um and I think the message that we wanted to send was like, we're passionate about our team, we're passionate about our city, we are loud, and yeah, we do sometimes get carried away, but never like that. That was way over the top, and
Yeah.
nobody in their right, I mean, nobody deserves to get, beat the way some of those fans got beaten.
Yeah.
To near death. I mean, I don't even know if there are any deaths, to be honest with you. I mean, they've been saying no, but I mean, dude, some of those images are just so graphic. And I mean, yeah, Kevin came up with that banner. We've been sharing it, and we're just showing our support, and we're just sending a message like, hey, we're not gonna let this fly, especially not in our sport, not in our city.
Yeah, and there's been a few teams that their supporters have gone to Terrell last year that
Hmm.
a few little things have happened.
Skirmishes.
Nothing. Just what I mean. You go into a sports game, there's gonna be some banter with some
Yeah,
sports
talk,
fan.
talk, talk.
Nothing, nothing. Obviously, what happened over there.
Yeah,
But even if we welcome any opposing team coming to Torero because it's not worth having something like that happen. It's just not. They have families,
yeah,
they got kids that are coming here. Like for example, like last year, I think the biggest supporters group that came through, a couple were obviously Phoenix.
yeah.
Their supporters group came through as something may or may not have happened around there, some words exchanged, but that
I think
was
that's
it.
all it was just words. Yeah,
Yeah, just that was it, and then OC had a pretty good crowd coming out.
New Mexico had
um,
a
New
bunch of
Mexico.
people.
Yes, and that's great, man. That is
Yeah,
beautiful. I want to go to New Mexico. I want to go. I want to
yeah,
go. I have family in Phoenix. I want to go to Phoenix and go to Chandler,
yeah,
and feel welcome and feel like, yeah, tell me what you want, but I'm there to support loyal and I'm going to represent to the bone. But
yeah.
I don't want to be in fear of freaking coming out of there with my freaking head cut off or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I
Uh,
know exactly what you mean, man.
and
It,
and
it
and that's
it's a
why I
scary
think it's
situation.
important. Yeah, it's seeing those images was disgusting. And a
Mhm.
lot of people were fearful of even going to Cholos matches after that. Because it's still, even though it's far away from Querétaro, but people I was hearing from the Gringos Cholos or the Cholo supporters here that there's mentions of people now being scared of going to the Cholos matches in TJ, and that shouldn't be that way, right? But those scenes were so horrific, and I'm gonna say it right now, like the Mexican government, and there's a lot of technicalities. I recommend watching that ESPN uh, a podcast from Hercules Gomez and Sebastian. I forgot his last name. But they talked about some very serious things in that podcast. But we all know how things can potentially happen in Mexico with people disappearing and then the political corruption or police corruption or whatnot. But for me, seeing those images and to think that there was not a single one of those people died, I don't believe that. Like there has to be deaths right now. There's still Atlas fans that are reporting family members missing. The
Mhm.
government's not coming out saying that they're alive or where are they at. So how does a body go missing from the stadium, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's those are questions that are very valid, and unfortunately, I don't think we're ever gonna get the answers for that. Um, and it sucks, and I don't want to scare anybody from ever going to a Cholos game. I mean, if you go out there, the atmosphere is amazing, the people are amazing. That stuff that happened in Querétaro, between the two fan bases, that is very, very, very rare. I mean,
Yeah,
that stuff does not happen, all the time. Um, and I don't think that should be I don't think that should represent Mexican soccer fan
no,
bases or supporter group fan bases. Like that does not represent us.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure all that stuff maybe has some deeper ties.
yep,
Who knows? But for anybody who ever wants to go back out to a Cholos game, I would definitely go. Security's, definitely, like it's better than over there. I'm gonna say that for now, and it's a fun time.
yeah.
It's a good family time, and just don't be scared because of those images. Yeah, they are very scary images, but it's nothing. it's nothing that should deter
Yeah,
you from enjoying the beautiful game.
exactly. And again, it's that's why it's called a beautiful game. I want to go to Monterey Bay. I want to go
Hmm.
to again to Phoenix. I want to go. All of us have a great time in Orange County. I've had great times in Orange County when we played them last year.
I want to go to Tulsa.
Yeah, like exactly. If I want to,
Yeah,
I want to make it one day out that far.
yeah,
Hey, I want
exactly.
to go to Florida and watch the Tampa Bay Rowdies
Birmingham.
against
Yeah, the
LA.
Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, and I don't want to be worried about knowing that, hey, just because you're from the opposing group, opposing team, that there has to be
Yeah,
problems, and that's not the way it
yeah,
should be. It's a beautiful game. We should be going there and exchanging ideas, exchanging drinks, and having
yeah,
fun, at a local pub, and then just having a great time, right?
yeah.
So
Just enjoying people's company. That should be it.
yeah, so there's a lot of things to soak in with what happened over there, but that Tifo I thought was a nice touch.
Hmm.
Just showing everybody that that's not what we're about as Chavos. That's not what locals are about. That's not what Rainbow Locals are about. And if we
Yep,
see any of that stuff, we're gonna shut it down ASAP. We're
yep,
not gonna. Even if it's one of us that maybe someone told them, something that got him upset or heard something said something to his mom or his girlfriend. We're gonna make talk that out and squash it right there because that's not what we want.
yep. That's not what we're
So
about.
exactly. So how about the in the beginning of the match, the main Tifo, the huge one?
Yep.
What'd you think about that?
It was a great collaboration, man. I mean, it was definitely it was that was probably one of the better tifos I've seen in the well, that's probably the better tifo that I've seen in probably in since the loyal started. Um, you know, the locals and the Chavos, they put in a lot of work. Um, you know, painting that over at the I believe the Hangar FC, which is kind of like a indoor arena over in
Right.
yeah, uh,
Yeah.
it came out beautiful. I mean, it's heavy and it was big, big up to Jerry's wife for sewing that thing because
Oh,
oh man, I don't know how she does it, man. She's got
wow.
some skills. Yeah. And just
Wow.
being able to create those images in that size, that I just, there's a lot of talent in this area in both of these SGs. And
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. Again, like I've never felt so home with
Hmm.
people with you and the other chavos and locals that are, are really good friends and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And when we see each other, it's all about, hugs and
Yeah. And
cheers and everything.
that was the
Uh,
theme of the Tifo, comunidad.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
community.
that's something I've never felt going to a NFL game here.
Yeah.
Like everyone's giving high fives or whatever when Chargers would score or something like that. But it wasn't like you're out there and then everyone's like, hey, let's go sew up a banner. Let's go sew up a tifo together.
Yeah, yeah, I
So,
know, right?
I mean, that's how you build connection. That's how you build bonds, and that's something I've never experienced in any other sport besides soccer. So it's just a beautiful thing. That's why I'm pinching it to people out there listening to this that if you're a little nervous, about hanging out, with Chavos or any of the other SGs, don't be, come out to 109 or go out to one of the pre games or a watch party and kind of see what we're about. It's really just everyone just having a good time and eating and chit chatting and supporting SD Loyal, right?
Yeah. No,
So
definitely.
so yeah, so besides that, I want to talk a little bit about the game, or not too in depth, but I just want to talk about how the players, to me, they came out solid.
Yeah.
Los Dos actually look pretty decent, man. They have some pretty decent players. A lot of them came back from last year, and remember, this is the last year, everybody, that Los Dos is going to be in USL. They're going to be going to the MLS Next um, league, the third division league after
Mhm.
this. But they brought some quality. They had some players that came back, but they look really good to me, Los Dos. So like I was always feeling like Loyal was gonna win, but it
Mhm.
wasn't easy. It definitely wasn't easy. But the game, to me, Loyal looked solid. With the players that were playing. So what
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're always gonna get those. I think I learned my lesson when it comes to MLS two teams. It's pretty obvious those guys are signed for a reason, and
Yeah,
they're right there. They're in the cusp of making it big, and I'm never gonna take another MLS two team for granted again. I mean, those guys they know how to play. They're fast. They're hungry, and most of those guys, I mean, if not all those guys, are out there, trying to plead their case to make it up to the big club one day. Um, as much as I don't like seeing MLS two clubs in USL, because I
Yeah,
feel like maybe they're not
yeah,
as invested as us.
right.
The competition is definitely there. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm never gonna take for granted those guys ever again.
Yeah, and plus, a lot of them kicked their butts last year. So,
Yeah, exactly, man.
oh man, those really got me upset. Playing Tacoma, getting ran through by Tacoma,
Yeah, just
Los
just
Dos.
dropping those three, those dropping that whole series to Tacoma was just man, and they were supposed to not be that great either. They were supposed to suck.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Tacoma's gone; they're not in the league anymore.
Yep.
But Los Dos, they're going to be a dangerous team. But
Hmm.
again, how you said, they're trying to make a name for themselves and hopefully get called up, to the main team,
Yep.
the main squad. So they got something to play for, and it's not like saying that Loda has nothing to play for, but they're young and hungry, how you said. But
Yeah.
again, the game was tough. It was a tough match. So, but I'm really happy that the players. We'll get to this at the end, but for like 99.9% of the players that Landon's brought in, I'm super happy. I think Coque Vegas did a great job.
That
He's
guy's
gonna
a
be
beast, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be great, man. And then
Yeah.
just the other players, everyone just looked good to me, man.
Yeah, I think we have the
Um,
best goalkeepers in USL, man, by far, man.
yeah, everyone looked good, man. Just everybody. Like I would really just give everyone like a eight or above. Like
Yep.
from ranked out of 10, 8 or above. I think everyone did a really good job. Everyone left it on the field. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Everyone
Exactly.
left it on the pitch and played their hearts out. And it showed at the end. We ended up winning because I think it was probably the right thing. I think at
Yeah.
the end, I think karma just kind of came through there and said, hey, you know what? SD Lowell deserves this win, and they got it.
Yeah. It was a first score. I
So
thought it was a good score.
yeah, so if anyone hasn't watched that game, watch it on ESPN Plus. It's a really good match.
Yeah.
Again, like after like the 60th minute, it just got really just went up. Like the level just went up. Really good. We had
Oh yeah.
there was a red card. There was even like a little bit of a scuffle on the far end. With the Galaxy and loyal players at the far end. I couldn't
Yeah.
really see what happened there, but it's a little bit of a. Little bit, I think every time we play Los Dos, the same thing happens.
No, most of those guys, man, they got I mean, they're sassy, man. They love
Yeah.
to celebrate. They love, like I know when they scored the goal, that the player that actually scored the goal, who was it? I believe I got it right here, but he was actually celebrating Preston Judd. He actually went to go ahead and celebrate it in front of some San Diego Loyal fans, that were sitting
Yeah.
in the bottom section out there.
Oh,
The
okay.
Loyal fans didn't want
Oh
anything to
yeah,
do
I
with
saw
that.
that. I did see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just kind of mocking it a little bit, but good for them.
yeah,
I mean, they definitely have confidence, and you'd like to see that. You
yeah,
definitely want to have teams come in here, try to
yeah,
play their best, score goals, and try to get us upset,
yeah.
get us off our game.
Yeah, speaking about that, in just where we are right now. Look, ST
Hmm.
Loyal, we got Los Dos this year. Just up to 5. We have OC. Up to 5.
Yeah.
We got Phoenix over. Obviously in Arizona.
Hmm.
But it seems like to me, like just like every one of those matches are just really, really tough, and then like the fan bases are well, besides Los Dos, but the fan bases are really just you're starting to see a little bit of rivalries growing, especially like
Yeah.
OC. If you like, I thought everyone was thinking that it's going to be Phoenix that we're going to be big rivals with,
Hmm.
but I think it's kind of growing with OC too. Like a little bit of a rivalry is going with them too. And they're the champions of the league, from
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah. No,
So
definitely.
we've been well treated over there in Orange County, but you can tell that there's going to be a little bit, and that's going to probably bring out more fans for them, knowing that hey, we're playing San Diego Loyal, and they know we're going to bring it, and then they're going to try to bring, they're going to try to bring their people to bring it. It's going to make a really nice atmosphere here in Torero and over there in Orange
Yeah.
County at Championship Park.
Yeah.
So
Have you heard much about like when they won their championship? I mean, you don't really. I never really seen Orange County as having a really big fan base. I don't. I
no,
mean, I might be misspeaking here because I've never actually been to Orange County for the away games, and
uh-huh.
I think I missed them when they actually came down. But uh, it didn't really seem like they just kind of came out of nowhere and won the whole thing, huh?
Yeah, they're a solid squad, but they have what's his name, Ronaldo Damis, man. Like
Yeah.
I just say like Ronaldo Damis. You know, like, is he?
I think now they got Cubo Torres too, right?
Yeah, they got some good players, man.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so it's like I think their fan base could be bigger. But I saw a video that they had. I think I went down to the Twitter world, and then, like, I saw somebody was mentioning about. I think they played away their first match,
Yep.
but they were showing a video where to go, like, for the watch party, and they had a really big crowd over there.
Oh, it's good for them.
Um, yeah, so I mean, and that's good for us too. When we
Yeah.
go to Orange County, we want to have some, their supporters group, getting loud, and we're gonna be loud, of course. And the cultures,
Yeah.
that the vibe is just gonna really bring it to where it's gonna grow, the ambiance there, and and uh and for us here too. We want to have
Yeah.
supporters. We want to have away supporters at Torero, and we want to have them bring it. It's gonna make us be louder.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
Exactly.
louder. We're gonna be louder. So it's just gonna bring more of the vibe, of just having a real feel, like how Landon said, like a real feel like you're in MLS or even like in Europe. Like it's really gonna bring that vibe.
It really bums me out that we don't have promotion relegation. It really does.
Yeah. Well, that might happen. I think it's gonna happen before the World Cup comes, but a couple years. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. No,
you
yeah.
know, we
We'll wait
could
for
be
next
here.
time.
We could be here all night talking about that. But I really do feel a promotion relegation is coming, especially
Yeah.
with MLS next. The third division league that MLS is creating.
Yeah.
Especially, I think with that, I think it's gonna really give USL like the green light that we got to do it. So, but that's
Dude, that'd
another
be amazing.
that's another show to
Yeah,
talk
for
about.
sure. Yeah.
Hey man, so I mentioned a couple minutes ago about that I'm really satisfied with 99.9% of the players,
Yeah. There's
right?
that 1%.
There's that one. I think I know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's been all over Twitter, all over the social medias. And if you're, tuning in, you're not you're not sure who we're talking about. It's about a player that got signed recently. It was last
Mhm.
week when they announced it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
His name is
And
Andrew.
Andrew Carlton.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is Chelas con Chavos, and I want everyone to come here and relax and pull up a chela and just relax and hear some
Yeah. It's a trust
thoughts,
tree.
right?
Yeah. It's a
Here
trust
are our
tree with
thoughts.
branches and nests. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Speak
here
your
are
mind.
thoughts because it's probably your thought. It's probably your thought it's coming through us because we hear it from people.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get too much into the political drama about it, but we could talk about it a little bit. But there's a lot of heat that Andrew was getting, from social media, and
Yeah.
and me, I'm gonna tell you right now, like I don't like, getting too involved with like political stuff, in soccer games. But again, how I just mentioned in the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
supporters groups do that,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Just
inevitable.
because it's inevitable, right? But
Yeah.
and again, for me, I did not like the signing. I'm going to be straight up. I did not like it. I know Landon and the upper leadership of the club, had a chat with the supporters,
Mhm.
and I didn't
Yeah.
hear it. I should, I want to, but I didn't hear it. Even if I didn't hear it or not, I still don't feel that it was a right move for me.
Yeah.
Just because, and not because of who he's supporting. It's just about
What happened that day?
just what happened. Because for me,
Yeah.
it's just what happened that day is wrong. It's my opinion,
Yeah. Of
but
course.
let me see coming from you. Like, what did you think about that?
Yeah. So actually, I was actually part of that call. We had actually pretty good Chavos representation there. Uh, and it the way Landon was talking, he was defending him. Just kind of making the case, and don't get me wrong. I mean, this kid. I mean, he was in the U.S. The U.S. national team levels from like the U15 all the way up to U20, right? I mean, this kid had talent, and I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he still has talent. Um, and from the way that Landon talked about it, it was basically, he seems to be a great team player in the locker room. He seems to be representing very well, and obviously that conversation came up about January 6th. And I'm just like you, man. I can care less. I don't care who you support. I don't care who you voted for, left, right, whatever. January 6th was one of the darkest moments in American history, and it was a very disgusting time in our history. And I do not support anybody that supports that. I will not. I just won't argue with you. I won't even just. You're dead to me. Um, and from what Andrew was talking about, they had conversations, with Landon. He gave his side of the story, and essentially, you know, that's he Landon, you know, it's he listened to it and he explained it to us, to the rest of the crowd that were listening, and we all just decided at that point, you know what, let's we are an inclusive club. He is a young kid, even though it was only a year ago. We're very cautiously just kind of watching to make sure that nothing like this happens again, especially
Yeah.
with the young player. I mean, it's not even just the January 6th too. I mean, he's had some disciplinary issues, when he was younger.
Yeah.
Um, he was drinking underage before the MLS championship. Yeah, he also forgot his passport.
Yeah.
Trying to go to Canada for a
Right.
game. That was when he was with Atlanta United. So and all this stuff is not. Landon did say that the Twitter age, and I agree with them. It's like we live in an age where everybody just knows all your business, and
Yeah.
people gang up on you.
Yeah.
Everybody just comes at you all in one time, and you really don't know how to control it. Um, Myself personally, I'm probably a little bit on the different side than you. I am very cautiously, just I I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. If Landon believes in him, if the front office believes in him, if the players believe in him, then that's it. I mean, I'm in it. I'm in for San Diego Loyal. I don't agree with what he, with that day, and I don't agree with maybe sometimes his political, beliefs. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to, to cheer on our team. And I know we took a lot of heat on social media, man, like from the Bandidos. Dude, USL memes was putting out some gold. I'm gonna
Man,
say it was
it was
I'll-
bad.
dude, it was bad, but it was funny with the way I
Yeah, it
don't know
was
if you saw
funny
it.
bad.
It was funny bad. I mean, the
Yeah.
way they put it, Infowars as a
Yeah.
sponsor for
I
the
laughed
home
at
kit.
that.
I
Yeah, that
started
was
cracking up
funny.
when I saw that. I mean, this,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to kind of take it. You gotta kind of
yeah,
give it and take it too, because we do the same things to Banditos. We're doing the same.
yeah,
You gotta kind of just laugh at it in essence, right? But don't take it too much to heart.
yeah,
But what happened over there is obviously something serious. So obviously, people,
yeah.
what happened in at the Capitol is something serious, and people really take that seriously. And especially some of the people on social media really took that seriously.
Hmm.
And then obviously that's what happened.
Yep.
But and it's I
We
just,
we voiced our opinion. I think with the, we were talking about Tifos earlier. We put out
yeah,
something, and this was a strictly Chavos thing that we put out. Pretty much you can't no puedes lavar tus pecados con nuestra cultura. Essentially saying
yeah,
like just because you're here, I mean you can't wash your sins with our culture. Like prove
yeah.
yourself. Whatever it is you do, just prove yourself that you belong here, but don't use us as a way to cleanse yourself.
Exactly, because we will turn against you if you
Exactly.
mess up.
Yep.
Because we'll show you what we mean. If you're playing on the pitch
Hmm.
and you do something wrong or say something wrong, and just you don't want to have that. So whoever's a player that's listening to this,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who it is really. If they do something, you're gonna hear it from us.
Yeah. No, let's
Um,
watch it their way. No, let's watch it their
yeah, be last man.
way.
So no, but you know what? The main thing for me was with him is just that I just don't know why we got him. Like, it's hard for me to believe that they didn't know that this was going to happen. All the heat that we are going to get. I just don't know what. He's not Messi. He's not Ronaldo. He's not Ronaldo Damas.
Yeah.
They could have tried stealing Ronaldo Damas from Orange County. You know, and then but I just don't know why they brought him on, knowing that what he had on his record, knowing that Loyal has built such a strong image and brand right now. That's why I was flabbergasted at why he was brought in. If and he's a decent player. He has a lot of his coaches or whatever saying that he has a lot of potential. But it's like, why couldn't we bring in a young player, something like that? I just don't know why he was brought in, and he didn't even play. Obviously, the first game.
Yep.
Maybe because they knew why. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but there's other players in his position that could have been brought in, I think, and I just don't know
Hmm.
why he was particularly brought in. Because if he was, for example, scoring left and right, scoring left and right, other clubs he's played for, he might have kind of like a Ibrahimovic, something like
Yep.
that. like something
Yep.
like he might have a really bad attitude, or like when Galaxy got him, but he was scoring freaking goals, and he was bringing people hated him, but people loved him at the same time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I
He
mean,
brought a lot of things with him, but he brought goals. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't see it with him that he's gonna come in and then just outright just freaking knock in like 3 goals a game, because I don't think he's gonna do it, because I bet you he's not, so I just
And
don't know why.
yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to find out, man. Obviously, they have a lot of faith in him, and it's just one of those situations, like maybe nobody was willing to give him a shot, and he's a good player, and
Yeah,
if we're gonna live by our motto, that everybody deserves a second chance, everybody
yeah,
deserves to like you know how we are, we're inclusive.
yeah,
If everybody's gonna, I mean, we got to follow that motto. I mean, even if we like it
yeah,
or not. So hopefully, in my eyes, I'm not speaking for anybody else in the Chavos. I'm not speaking for you. I'm not speaking for anybody in the
yeah,
locals. In my mind, I think, okay, let's see what's going on with this kid. Like I said, I mean, I'm
yeah,
not gonna bring politics into it. That day happened. I believe the story that was told. So let's try to move on, and
yeah,
like I said, cautiously optimistic, man.
yeah.
Very
Well, maybe
cautiously.
maybe he was cheap, and that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just it. He was
Yep.
cheap. Nobody
Maybe.
wanted him. He was there. They Landon saw that and said, "Hey, you know what? I think I'm pretty sure Landon freaking probably talked to him and let him know that
Yeah.
any type of antics he's gonna pull is not gonna be acceptable here, and he'll be gone cool." Landon just
That's
seems
exactly
like,
what he said. That's
yeah,
exactly
okay,
what they said. And Andrew
good.
Andrew voices the exact same opinion.
Yeah, so I'm sure. So again, I did not like it. Whatever. I'm not the president of the club. Making the signings and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
but you know what? Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's just see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yep.
But yeah. Well, anything else you want to say? I mean, that's a lot
Um,
of things we went through today. So,
yeah.
what
It
else you
was
want to
it was
throw out there?
nah, it was a very good episode. Very very good first go around for this stuff. I know for a fact, I know later on if we're getting new viewers and stuff like that, or people that are not familiar with the Chops, they're loyal. Um, the podcast isn't going to be all soccer all the time. We are going to be talking like about supporter culture. We're going to be talking about community leaders. We're gonna be hopefully doing some interviews here and there. But like there are a lot of other great podcasts. The finest little podcast, one of them. Two balls and a mic. And yeah, there's a lot of great San Diego loyal like podcasts that we don't really feel the need to go over the game all the time. But we are going to be showing ourselves, showing people who we are, what we're about, and we're gonna have a lot of great episodes coming up.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna be bringing on Chavos, other members of Chavos on.
Hmm.
Getting idea of how it came about that they joined.
Yeah,
Maybe the next episode we'll get a little bit more into that, how you and I got into Chavos, and
yeah,
then we'll
definitely.
bring on a special guest appearance. You know, maybe Puma time or
Yeah, we'll
Pyro
see,
or,
man.
or Pyro time.
Pyro time, Puma time. I mean, those guys, they're another level, man.
Yeah, we'll give we're gonna have some Chavos on and kind of just talk about us, the supporters, and
Yeah,
have some real, some real talk where you can just kick your feet up and grab a Chela and just hang out with Chavos. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, everybody, if you guys don't follow us, go ahead and go and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Chelas con Chavos, and also Chavos de Chavos de San Diego, or actually Chavos de Loyal, right? For Instagram and IG for the supporters groups. Um, and yeah, come on out. If you haven't been out to a watch party, if you haven't been out to a pregame, come join us. We're family. Sing along. Chant, jump. You're gonna be tired, man. I don't know if we have actually. I want to give props to Abel, who's one of our drummers. I actually witnessed his hand cramp up so much that it was
Oh,
stuck like this for a
oh
good, like,
shoot!
solid, like, 3 minutes. He was one of our drummers. He was just going off, and it just oh, man, I've never seen anything so, like, just so gnarly.
Yeah,
I mean, he
the
was in
passion,
terrible
bro.
pain, but that's a passion, man. That's a passion
That's
we
what we're
have.
about.
Yeah, and also, Davey too, another one of our drummers always comes in, has
Yeah,
his hands taped up and
yeah,
just bleeding everywhere, but that's a passion we bring. That's the kind of
we
passion
bring
we
it.
have.
Yeah. So anybody wanting to join us in 109 or pre-game, events, you'll start getting to know us and how we're all fam, and we'll
Yep.
definitely let you in if you show us the same love as we show you.
Yeah.
Hey, so just a quick little talk that who we're gonna be playing with or against rather against Sacramento Republic. I did want to mention that they did win their first match 3-1. Oh shoot, I forgot who they played against, but they won. I'm sorry, they played against El Paso Locomotive.
Yeah.
They won 3-1, and one of the people who scored was our very ex-own Douglas Martinez.
Man, I
So
miss
we'll
that
be
guy.
seeing him. So looking at that, and El Paso's a good team.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a tough game this weekend. We're gonna see Douglas Martinez back at Torero playing against us, and 3-1. They scored 3, so it's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, no, definitely gonna be. I'm gonna be there. I know you say you're not gonna be there, but yeah. Well, I'll try to pay attention this time.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right,
Well,
brother.
all right. Well, Chavos and Chavets, all the Lobo supporters across the world. Thank you for joining in to the inaugural Chelas con Chavos first episode. Looking forward to a long season, a lot of chats with us.
Yep.
And that's it. We out.
All right, later, guys.
All right. Peace out.